Been going to do this for some time. I've had this First Alert drinking water test kit for a while and doing it today. First test I ran was putting water in a vial and shaking it as the directions said. Got to sit it here for 24 hours and then check for bacteria readings. So that'll sit there until Tuesday afternoon, 48 hours. And now I'm going to run these other couple of tests. Very inexpensive, yet supposedly very accurate water testing. And depending on these readings, we may send it out for tests locally or somewhere. Probably locally. I know of a few places. And really test it. Now, this is testing our water in Bettsville, Ohio on June 3rd, 2018. And this is straight from the faucet after the faucet had run for at least a good 30 seconds or more. Let the faucet run cold water for 30 seconds or more. Didn't say that here, but that's what I did. And we'll see what kind of results we get. We've got a pure water system, an inexpensive one to filter drinking water and water we make ice cubes and tea with. But this, again, is simply the water straight from the tap. Cold water straight from the tap. So we'll be checking it out. Now simply grabbing the second full water droplet, putting it into the vial as instructed. And that's all they wanted, was 2 full water droplets. So we're done with this. And we got the water droplets. Now we take these two and I'm going to put them in as instructed. Arrow side down. Stay tuned. Oh, rereading the instructions before I put these strips in, it said swirl the vial gently for several seconds. So that has just been done. And I was swirling for a few seconds before I turned on the recorder. And now both test strips, as instructed, are placed. Let me look here. Place both test strips into the test vial with arrows pointing down. That's what I've done. Wait for 10 minutes. Just put them in there. So, looking at the clock, 10 minutes will be 16 after 9 in the evening here. So, stay tuned. Okay, we're almost at 9:16. So I'm going to reread the directions. And it says, wait 10 minutes, which I've done. And simply take the strips out of the vial and read results. If bottom line next to number 1 is darker than the top line, which is next to number 2, that's a negative reading. Alternatively, if the top line next to number 2 is darker than the bottom line, which is next to number 1, or the lines are equally dark, that's a positive reading. And it does say, if no lines appear, you didn't do the test right. But if the test strip shows a positive result, your water samples may contain lead or pesticides at a toxic level. So we now got 916 on the wall. Let's pull these out and take a look. And we'll look closely here. I'm going to say it's closer to number 2. Top line next to number 2 is darker than the bottom line next to number 1, or lines are equally dark. Yep. We've got, I don't know if it shows here. Yeah, there we go. There's the reading. I'll have to reread the directions, but you can see as I get closer here if it will zoom in and get a little more clear. You can also read the readings as well as I am. There we go. That's the results we got. Now the one strip read correctly, the other ones didn't quite read, but that's the result we got. Actually, now that I look at it, looks like the dark strip is closer to number 1. So let me reread the instructions and we'll see. Rereading the instructions. Negative reading if the bottom line next to number 1 is darker than the top line, which is next to number 2. And that's more like what we've got. Positive or a negative reading. It would be positive if the top line next to the number 2 is darker than the bottom line, which is next to number 1. Yeah, the dark line is closer to number 1. So it looks like we have a negative reading, which is a good thing. Okay, that's that part of the test. Hang on, we'll do another test here in a moment. The next part of our test here at 112 Union Street is to carefully open the nitrite test packet and take out the strip. And that would be this thing. So I'm going to remove the strip. Be right back. Now it says to immerse the reagent, whatever they are, immerse the pads into water for 2 seconds, remove after 1 minute, match colors to the chart below. Okay, got the test strip, got the 2 pads there. I'm going to put it in same water that I drew 2 drops out to do the previous test, but this is the water I'm going to use for this. And we're going to do that. Stay tuned. Be back in 1 minute. Just pulled the 2 pads out after 2 seconds in the water. Now I've got to give them a minute. We've got about 50 seconds left. And then match them to these colors here. The end pad, at the moment the darker one, is the total nitrite reading. The pad nearest to handle, the lighter one, is going to be our nitrite reading. Got about not quite 10 seconds left. Stay tuned. Okay, it says the readings are good for 1 hour. So we're matching the top color, lines of color, the top one, to the end pad, which the end pad of the 2, the one on the right, looks more gray. Not quite like that, but maybe more like that. Definitely not up in this range. More down, if anything, matching. More down to right about there. Maybe even there. So either 0, I'm going to say 0.5. Now the other pad, the left of the 2, we're going to match down here. And at the moment, that looks to be maybe more like 0.3, would you say? Yeah, 0.3. Definitely not up into this range here. Again, the pad on the left, we're going to call it a 0.3 is the closest match. So the nitrate/nitrite reading, 0.5. Nitrite reading, we're going to give 0.3. And after discarding that test strip, I circled what readings we got. And our last test is total hardness, total chlorine. And this is going to be the pH or hardness and chlorine test. Carefully open pH hardness chlorine test packet and take out the test strip. We opened the packet, we got the strip. This one has 3 pads on it for readings. At the moment, real light, middle one is gray, and the last one looks to be orange, left to right. Immerse the reagent pads in water sample and remove immediately. Hold the strip level for 15 seconds. Match pH, total hardness, and chlorine in that order. The pH will be the end pad, the orange one. Total hardness will be the middle pad, the gray one at the moment. And the white one at the moment will be the chlorine reading. Let's see what kind of readings we get. Let's see. Immerse the pads into the water sample and remove immediately. Same water. In and out. Okay. Hold the strip level for 15 seconds. And the clock says we have about 5 seconds left. Maybe 7. Okay, we're going to match, see how close the far right pad matches this top line. Maybe there, would you say? Yeah, I'm going to say most closely matches the 7.5. The middle pad is kind of more of a red. That matches total hardness, and I do know that our water is hard. Looks like the end one here. So we got 7.5 and the high level of hardness, and the chlorine looks to be pretty low, which I believe is good. Definitely not up there, the bottom colored line to the far left pad. So we got 7.5, 425, and 0. Done with that, and I'll circle what we got here. And that'd be the end of our test. There's the readings we got. And the only other thing is to wait 48 hours and get the reading from that vial up there as far as bacteria count. That vial that is somewhat purplish now. We'll see if it stays purple, or if it turns yellow, we're not too happy. We'll see in 48 hours.